Good afternoon, everyone. Mayor Buckley here. I want to give you another update on where the city's at with the COVID virus and response, plus a general update on what is going on with the city. It's Sunday, July the 26th, about 2 p.m. I'm here at City Hall. Tim's with me again today. And I want to start out by expressing our sorrow at the passing of former Mayor Warner Wiley. Warner was a dear friend of mine and a dear friend of the city, and he will be sorely missed. Warner contributed the majority of his life to the city of Beech Grove, and our condolences to his family. I want to thank the employees of the city, especially with the police department and the fire department, for the send-off that they gave Mayor Wiley. It was truly an honor to be part of that, and I think about him daily, and it's been a couple of weeks since he's passed. But I just wanted to mention that to you today. We lost a fine servant and an even better person. So I'll be right back. We're back, and I want to talk about some things that are going on in the city right now that have little to do with the COVID-19 virus. First of all, the roundabout at Churchman bypass in Arlington is just about finished. I was looking at some stats today, and they are 92% complete. So I suspect that this week sometime the road will be open. The city is going to hold a ribbon cutting ceremony this Friday, July the 31st at 10 a.m. in the Viavi Solutions parking lot located at 5808 Churchman Bypass. It is off the road in the parking lot, so it's a safe area. So you are certainly welcome to join us this Friday morning, 10 a.m. in the parking lot at Viavi Solutions. Our 2020 paving project has been pushed back a little bit. The contractor that we have entered into an agreement with is busy, and so we're waiting on him to finish up, and then they will get started. So, excuse me. So, those of you who received a letter, we will be paving your area, but we will be off to a little later, probably sometime in August, before he gets started. I want to update you on some stormwater issues. With the completion of the roundabout at Churchman Bypass in Arlington, we have corrected a serious drainage problem in that area. Part of this project was obviously to correct some drainage, and there was $228,000 spent in that area to correct ongoing drainage problems. So not only are we going to get new roads and better traffic flow, but also we're going to be able to move water out of there quickly and more efficiently. For those live in the area of Buffalo between 5th and 7th, that project is complete, and it's a nice improvement. There has been standing water in that area for as long as I can remember. That has been corrected. We finished another project down on Killian Drive, south of Redfern, on the west side of Killian. That has been a problem since they built those homes down there, and hopefully we have corrected it. Crews are working as we speak in the 200 block of Bethel Avenue to replace pipe and inlets for the stormwater drainage on the north side of Bethel. So we're looking forward to that being complete. That same crew, once they're finished there, will move down to the 1200 block of Albany on the bridge and do some more drainage work there. And then our engineers have already did utility searches for the area of Garstang and Shaft. So we will be doing some drainage work in that area. That is the next big project. So we're looking forward to making these improvements, to continue to make these improvements to make it better for all of you. A matter concerning our sanitary sewer, we have started a process of applying for funding for an Okra grant to make some more lining improvements with our sanitary sewer system. Recently, the Board of Public Works and Safety approved an environmental survey to be conducted by Mike Kleinpeter and Associates. This is a requirement for application for funding. And hopefully by October, we will apply for at least $600,000 to do some lining improvements. So we're looking forward to that application process and to make some improvements to our sanitary sewer system. The trailhead for the Franciscan Trail, located at 16th and Albany, will soon be done with the ton and blank portion of the project. We will do some environmental work over there once they're done, but I would suspect within the next week that will be complete. The Franciscan Trail, and we've talked about this for a long time, NDOT puts the construction bid out on August 1st. And they hope to award the bid for the construction of the Greenway on September the 2nd. So this has been talked about forever. It was talked about with Mayor Wiley, talked about with Mayor Wright, Mayor Dilk, and now myself. So I can see the light at the end of this tunnel. I want to thank all of you who participated in a survey that we sent out for those of you on Grovewood Avenue. The survey ends on July the 27th, and then we will formulate all of the responses, and I will share them with the council person in District 4, and we will make some recommendations to slow the vehicles down on Grovewood Drive. Not sure what that is yet, but I appreciate all of the input that you folks that live down there gave us, and it will help us make some improvements. For those of you who live up in the area of 17th and Southern, that property on the southeast corner of 17th and Southern is going to be developed. It's going to turn into a single street with a court, 5 doubles, and it's for age 55 and older. The developer of that project has filed with IDEM for an application to install a sanitary sewer. So we are working with those folks, and we look forward to the construction and the cleaning up of that area. And it will do another thing that we've had problems with for a long time, and that is it will correct a drainage issue that we've had to deal with for a long time. So we're looking forward to that. Within the next couple of weeks, you'll start seeing a crew walking each street in Beech Grove. They are with United Consulting, and they are doing a road inventory. Every 2 years, NDOT requires us to do a street inventory of every road in Beech Grove. And it gets 3 different types of ratings. 1 through 3 is in poor condition. 4 through 6 is average. 7 through 10 is good. So they will assess all of these roads, and then they will compile a list. We will put that list on the website so you can track where your road stands. Now I got to tell you, this is how we base on what gets paved. If the road you live on has a rating of 3 or higher, your road is not going to be paved for the next 2 years. We focus on roads that have a rating of 1 or a 2. The last rating, we had one road that received a 1 rating, and that was 24th Avenue. That road has been repaved. It went from a 1 rating to a 9 rating. So we're happy about that, but this is how we focus on the bad roads, and engineers tell us which roads that you really need to take a look at. And finally, what I wanted to pass on is that about 2 or 3 years ago, I wanted to start doing some street art with local artists. We have several local artists in the city of Beech Grove that do wonderful work, and I wanted to incorporate that in the scheme of things through our city, especially Main Street and Emerson Avenue. Recently, there has been an art collaborative that has been established in the city of Beech Grove, and they have a little building right next to Beach Bank Brewing there on Main Street. This is the same group that holds art festivals in the city park. The art collaborative event scheduled in the city park on August the 15th, unfortunately, has been canceled. So hopefully they'll resume that this time next year. And we're going to start having them do some artwork throughout the city. So on Emerson Avenue, you will start to see traffic boxes being painted. Now, the first one that they want to do was approved by the Board of Public Works at the last meeting. It's an abstract tree, and it's really pretty. We will not have any art that is of poor taste or dark. We want art to be pretty and uplifting. So this is going to start, and you'll start seeing this throughout the city. And I just think it's something nice to look at, and it helps clean up the city. So I wanted to pass that on to you because that's going to start here pretty soon. And I encourage you to visit this art collaborative down on Main Street. Having said that, I'll be right back in a minute. I want to talk to you about COVID. We're back, and I want to talk to you about the COVID-19 virus and some of the events that have been canceled as a result of this, plus what we are doing as a city. You all know that the Promoters Club fireworks July 3rd had been canceled. I want to pass on that the Fall Festival parade has also been canceled, and last week the Promoters Club decided to cancel the Fall Festival in its entirety. So I don't ever remember that happening before, but I want to say publicly that I think those were very good decisions. Financially, it hurts the Promoters Club, but the decisions were sound, and what I appreciate most about it is the fact that they put your health first before the club. So I appreciate that. During September, we will not, during the time frame of the festival, we will not have any closures of Main Street. I have been in contact with Johnny O concerning the car show. Not sure yet on the status of the car show, but both of us agreed that we don't want to be the conveyor of this virus. And you know how many people attend the car show. It is a very popular event. We can spread it out, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen with it. John and I will get back together and talk about it some more. There hasn't been any decisions made, but we'll sit down and see what happens, and we'll let John control the message. So the Oktoberfest at Holy Name, even though it's on private property, the city has very little say in whether it should go or not. Has been, I was in church this morning, and in the announcements they said that the Oktoberfest for this year has been canceled. I got to tell you, I applaud that decision. I think it was exactly right. And I had spoken with one of the committee members that was putting this event on last week. And my recommendation to them was to cancel the event. It's just not worth it. And this virus is spinning out of control. And if you've ever attended the Oktoberfest, there are a lot of people there, especially in the tent where the music is being played. So again, I applaud the decision made by the parish. I think it's exactly right. And hopefully they'll come back next year and put the Oktoberfest on. So I wanted to share that with you. Also, the old meat market at 5th and Main was purchased by 3 or 4 local gentlemen, and they rehabbed it, and they are opening up a restaurant called Fifth Avenue Grill and Bar. And I want to tell you that I talked with them today, one of them today, and effective tomorrow, Monday, July the 27th, that business, they are open for business. So we are excited about that. Earlier today, I was down on Main Street, and I noticed that they have signs on the window, our door, saying conduct social distancing, and if you go into the business, you have to wear a mask. So I have already been told that that is a smoke-free business, which I'm happy about. Also, the Masonic Lodge is slowly coming back, and recently 3 buildings next to the Masonic Lodge have been sold, and I'm not really sure who bought one of them, but I know that the intent is to rehab those buildings, which they desperately need, and then we hopefully will have new tenants soon. So those are some of the things that are going on. But my focus to you is city services. And where are we at with all of our departments? First of all, the senior center is back open, but they only allow 30 people in the building at a time. And if you go into the building, you have to wear a mask. You go through a series of questions and they take your temperature. The Hornet Park Community Center is only open to scheduled events. Other than that, it's closed. The exercise portion of the building is closed. They were going to start up Buzz Club, but Buzz Club works off the same schedule as the school district. So when the school district is open, there will be Buzz Club. When the school district is closed, Buzz Club will be closed. Our parks are open. Was very unhappy with some vandalism that was recently done in the parks. Some kids were down here over a series of nights, and we could never time it to where the police could be there when they were down there. However, we have very good security cameras, and we have gotten some very good footage of some of these kids, and they did some damage that I'm not very happy about, especially some language. And I expect the police to move real quick. They've identified a few of them, so hopefully this will end. And it's just very depressing. And the cleanup is hard and it is expensive. So, but the parks are open. The dog park's open. The shelters are open. Tom has the parks looking very nice. The basketball goals are open, and hopefully we can go and continue to be open. The Department of Public Works is functioning at full capacity. The only difference now is that the public is not allowed on the grounds, into the buildings, or back behind the fence. It's too dangerous. And there has been a lot done to protect the employees out there at DPW, especially those who handle trash. COVID is prevalent in trash disposal, and COVID is prevalent in the wastewater movement and the treatment of wastewater. So we really have to be careful, and we have to constantly focus on the safety of those employees out there. I want to pass on to you that if you desire to have a mattress or box spring picked up by Ray's Trash Service, we do not pick mattresses and box springs up, for a couple reasons. One is COVID, and number two is body fluids and bed bugs that are on some mattresses and box springs. But I want you to know that if you desire to have Ray's pick up your mattress or box springs, you are going to have to wrap it in plastic before they'll pick it up. So that's something that's just came out within the last week, and I wanted to pass that on to you. City Hall is closed to the public. If you come into City Hall, you are going to be required to wear a mask. On the front door is a sign that says knock, and then step back on, there's an X on the pavement, on the sidewalk. Please stand on that X, and someone will come to the door to help you. Recently, there has been a mailbox installed right by the front door. You can put your sewer payment either in that mailbox or the night deposit box on 8th Street. You don't have to come in to pay your sewer bill. And we encourage you to either pay your sewer bill online or to write a check. The police department is functioning at full capacity, as is the fire department. So all of our city services are up and running. We have had no COVID exposures related to function on the job. We have had 2 employees test positive for COVID, but they were exposed to it on vacation or away from work. So we are constantly monitoring the virus. We are constantly monitoring the safety of the employees of the city. And I'll come back in the next segment and I'll talk about the recent orders that have been issued by the governor and the mayor of Indianapolis, and what could happen within the next couple of months. So I will be right back. We're back, and I want to talk to you about the response to COVID exposures and final thoughts on the virus itself. As we all know, over the last 2 weeks, the numbers are going the wrong way. And when we first started talking about COVID in March, the city department heads did a really nice job of getting ready for this fall, because I explained to them that, in my unprofessional opinion, we were going to revisit this issue in either September or October. Well, it may be a little bit sooner, but we're still planning on September and October to really clamp down as we did in March. So the state recently had over 1,000 positive cases in one day. That is the highest level since they began testing in March. And that's very concerning. Over 690,000 people have been tested in the state, which is about 10% of the population. Over 2,700 Hoosiers have died from this virus. And yesterday, 934 new cases of COVID were reported to the State Board of Health. If we go back to the very first, when we first started talking about COVID, and we talked about social distancing. We talked about washing hands often. We talked about, if you are sick, please stay home from work. If you have a family member who is sick, please stay home. And more important, besides that, is to tell us. Those basic recommendations still apply today. 4 months into this. And they'll apply 4 months further down the road. Social distancing, washing your hands. If you are sick, stay home from work. If your family member is sick, let someone know. I personally avoid big crowds. Beginning tomorrow, July the 27th, Governor Holcomb has mandated that Hoosiers wear a mask if you cannot social distance. I'm not really sure there should be an order for anything like this, because I think all of us should wear a mask when we are in groups of people. It's unfortunate that an order has to be made for this. When I am out in the public, when I'm by myself, I do not wear a mask. If I'm at home with my wife, and it's just us two, I do not wear a mask. But if I am in a crowd, or if I'm in a meeting, or if I'm at church, wherever, I will wear a mask. And I'm doing it to protect you from me. So, what happens if somebody doesn't wear a mask? Well, I can tell you that the City of Beech Grove and this office, along with the Beech Grove Police Department, is not going to enforce any law or order concerning wearing a mask. Everybody, in my opinion, is reasonable, and I really believe that if you are concerned about your health, you will wear a mask, especially if you're around people. In Marion County, if you want to report someone for not wearing a mask, you can call the Marion County Health Department. They have a COVID hotline number, and it is area code 317-221-5600. 5500. For those of you who do wear a mask, like the one that I have on, I recommend to you that you only wear it one time and then discard it. In my untrained opinion, this will only protect you for so long. And I would only wear this mask one time, and then I will discard it and put another mask on. Hanging your mask in the rearview mirror, I don't know if that does anything or not. My recommendation is that you wear your mask one time and discard it and put a new one on the next time you need it. When you discard your mask, please do not throw it out the window of your car onto the pavement or sidewalk. Please discard it in a trash container. Mayor Hogsett at the end of last week issued an order closing bars and reducing the amount of people in restaurants back down to 25%, if I'm not mistaken. The City of Beech Grove, this office, and the Beech Grove Police Department are not going to be the enforcement arm for this executive order. We've been through this before. I've talked to several local business owners who are unhappy with the recent executive order that was issued by Mayor Hogsett. I reminded them that I am not the enforcement arm, neither is the Beech Grove Police. If they have any questions concerning the executive order issued by Mayor Hogsett, or if you have the desire to report a business for non-compliance, you can either call the City of Indianapolis at 327-4MAC, MAC, or you can call the Marion County Health Department's COVID hotline, again, 317-221-5500. I encourage you to prepare for this fall. And when I sit down and talk with department heads, I'm going to start talking about next spring. We've talked about it before. They did a really good job of getting the city ready in March for this September and October. So now we are focusing on next spring. And we are going to start talking and thinking about this fall and early winter when the flu season hits, because the COVID virus is not going to go away. So there could be two battles going on at the same time: an exposure to COVID and the seasonal flu. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm just a citizen who gets a flu shot and knows that these viruses come through generally in early winter, and this one could be really interesting to fight. So I want you to start thinking about that. We will prepare the city to take on these battles, and we are going to do whatever we can to protect the employees of this city so they can continue to provide services to all of you. So that's my thoughts for today, and I wanted to get back with you and get you an update on what's going on in the city and then the COVID. So until we have a chance to spend some more time together, thank you, and stay safe, everybody.